A 35-year-old Saudi woman worked as a teacher in a primary school. She had married a man of a similar age, but she struggled to conceive and had to wait 2 long years before her doctor finally gave her the joyful news. She was pregnant. Overwhelmed with happiness, she embraced her pregnancy with hope and anticipation. After giving birth, her husband insisted on hiring an Asian maid to help her with household chores and take care of their newborn son, whom he named Mohammed. The maid was not Muslim. After her maternity leave, the teacher returned to school, reassured that her child was in safe hands. 3 months after resuming work, her world collapsed. Her son Mohammed, only 4 months old, had suddenly passed away. Devastated, she found comfort in the maid, who consoled her, reassured her, and frequently checked on her while she was at work. Not once did she suspect the maid had anything to do with the tragedy. Time passed, and the teacher became pregnant again. She gave birth to another boy, and out of love and attachment, named him Muhammad as well. Despite the dark thoughts that haunted her, fearing another loss, she placed all her trust in God. But just 1 month after his birth, an identical tragedy struck. The baby died suddenly, without any apparent cause. The medical report concluded that his death was natural, an act of divine will. Broken, she tried to endure the pain with patience and resignation, accepting Allah's decree. Never did she doubt her maid. The woman was diligent, loyal, and meticulous in her work. A few months later, the teacher became pregnant for the third time. One day, the maid informed her that she wished to leave Saudi Arabia for good to take care of her ailing mother. The teacher asked her to wait until a new maid arrived so she could train her. When the new maid arrived, the outgoing one taught her the household tasks for a week. Before her departure, the teacher took her to the market, buying her and her family gifts, refusing to let her pay for anything. The new maid watched with curiosity, puzzled by the abundance of gifts the departing maid was taking with her. As the maid was preparing to leave, the new one suddenly approached the teacher, discreetly shut the door, and, in a hesitant voice, said, "I have something important to tell you. I don't know how to say it, but tell me, have you had children before?" The teacher felt her heart tighten. "Yes, I had 2 children," she replied, "but they both passed away." The maid lowered her gaze before continuing. "Do you know why they died?" A cold shiver ran down the teacher's spine. "Tell me what you know." The maid took a deep breath and said, "When I arrived here, your maid told me that if I didn't like taking care of children, I could get rid of them, just like she did. She admitted to me that she had injected poisoned needles into the skulls of both your babies." The teacher was struck by an overwhelming shock. She screamed in agony, clutching her head as she realized the horror of the truth. Consumed by uncontrollable rage, she rushed toward the departing maid and beat her violently, demanding a confession. But the maid denied everything. She accused the new maid of jealousy, claiming she was trying to harm her out of spite because of the many gifts she had received. When the husband arrived home, his wife revealed the terrible truth. Disturbed and enraged, he took both maids to the police station. However, due to a lack of concrete evidence, and despite the serious accusations, the investigation could not establish a direct link between the maid and the children's deaths. The medical reports confirmed that both deaths remained unexplained. Shattered, powerless in the face of injustice, the teacher made an irrevocable decision. She quit her job for good to dedicate herself entirely to raising her future child. From that moment on, she would never hire a maid again. And do not place your trust except in those who follow your religion. Say, true guidance is the guidance of Allah. If someone were to be given something similar to what you have been given, or if they were to challenge you before your Lord, say, "Indeed, all grace is in the hands of Allah. He grants it to whomever he wills.